We are on our way to the barn. I got a little later start today over the Christmas holidays. Yeah, honey? Do you want to say hi again to everyone? Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
We all had a great Christmas, and kids aren't in school right now over Christmas holidays, and Addie's not in daycare, so a little later start to the day. We usually don't get going until just before 9. A little Starbucks, get down to the barn. Anyway, yesterday I thought we'd have a great day, and we didn't. And I'm going to break it down horse by horse, because when I look at it overall, 6 horses raced terrible, 1 horse raced absolutely fantastic, and it's really unfair to White Tiger. Fastest mile of his life, toughest competition he's faced since he was a 2 or 3-year-old. Really, really looked better. I was on pins and needles last night. I told you guys we made a fairly significant shoeing change to him. Was it going to help? Was it going to hinder? You never really know with Tiger. Everything is paper thin. Good, bad, trot, run. Everything is very, very thin. And that's important to talk about in a minute with another horse also. So I'll start this way first. I had a couple of people message me today asking what's wrong with Tortolindy. Is it Ronnie's fault? Is the horse hung up bad? Just simple questions that I answered in a very simple way. If we got rid of every trotter that we own that made a break or raced poorly on a week-to-week or month-to-month or day-to-day, race-to-race basis, we wouldn't have any, and we certainly wouldn't have the horse that was second in the Open last night. Tortolindy looked infinitely better last night before his break and last week when I drove him than he did in the final. That's just simple mechanics. There's no arguing that fact. It just is. He won slower in the divisions 57, 56 and a bit, 57. The horse looked okay, but he was rough. His hobbles were tight. We changed a number of things on him, and there was absolutely no doubt, 0 doubt he was going to win by open lengths last night. 6-7 lengths, no problem. The only horse he had to beat, ended up second or third, and he was gone getting into the last turn. I know what happened. He ran in, touched his knee a little bit, got out of gear, and rolled off. Just the speed he was going, I would imagine. Couple that with the track. Ronnie had messaged me after and said, the track is really bad. The horse was going a big mile, and I lost him. He said, he'll be fine next week. So, for those of you out there concerned about Tortolindy, all I saw was a horse full of himself that was going to decimate that class and rolled off stride. Much like White Tiger's made many, many breaks. Made 2 of them in his last 6. Last night was second. Third place second, but second. In the Open, trotted 52 and 4, the fastest mile of his life. So we'll start with those 2 horses. I'm not concerned with Tortolindy. Let's call it the track. Let's call it whatever. I can make one more little change with him that probably will help a little bit. We'll see. We'll do that this week, and then he'll race. I guess he's going to have to race against Simba in the consolation. I don't think a 5th and a break gets you into the final that I'm aware of. So those 2 horses will have to race there. I talked to Jason last night and Lauren. I believe I'll go over and race on Sunday because I got to pick up some horses anyway. Probably going to bring Stonebridge Simba home, race him in the numbers of 3,000 here, race him around Mohawk, Flamborough, London. Seems like a better fit right now than one good race in the bottom class and then kind of getting beat up in the middle. And if he ever floated up near the topper end, through the higher end, we'd be in trouble. I've told you guys this before. It would be unfair for me to talk about the way Cruising in Style raced up and down the classes and how I didn't really like that because it's wasted. Because it's wasted starts, and then go and do the same thing myself. That would be hypocritical, would it not? So, looking for a more stable, sustainable place for Stonebridge Simba, and I think at least for now, Mohawk start. Hi, baby. Mohawk start, and then after that we'll figure something out with him. So rewind all the way back to the start. Jazzy Judy races last night. One of her first starts in Open company. I didn't know how she'd do. She went off at 5-2 morning line. Come on the track. There seemed to be 2 horses that would probably be tough to beat. One of them was for sure. What I liked about Judy, she almost run going in the first turn, caught herself, landed down third, and trotted the fastest mile of her life. Guys, keep in mind, this is a filly that only has, 15, 16 starts lifetime? She wants to get better. She's in the right place. If we feel that she's really grounded and we can't make any headway with her and she's really up against the wall that she can't climb, then I guess we can sell her. But I don't think that I don't think we're there yet at all. Not even close. close. So we'll continue to let her race in that class. And I believe she fits a class lower than that also. So there's still some movement forward for Jazzy Judy for sure. Then we came to Stonebridge Simba. Listen, it's been well documented. Addie Bear, eat your cake. You eat your banana loaf. You can I have a piece? Oh well, thank you. It's been well documented, I think, throughout his career. Anytime you take Stonebridge Simba off the gate and get away near the back, that's probably where you're going to finish more times than not. And that's what happened last night. Got away 7th. I think he ended up 6th. What I would call a very ordinary pedestrian mile for Stonebridge Simba. I'm going to bring him. We'll race him in the Consolation because we should. I'll probably go over and drive him in the Consolation. If he gets in with Tour de Lindy, I'm more apt to give Ronnie Wren another chance on the horse. He knows him. The horse just rolled off last night. It's very simple. We can tighten his hobbles up a little bit. Geez, I really like the way you get through the first 3 turns, right? He looked great. It was just when he was wide open getting into that 4th turn, that last turn, that he ended up making a break. And I think there was more speed and track than anything. That was Ronnie's take on it. That was my take on it. But as I said, if I get upset every time one of our trotters, especially one that I have a lot of like for, make a break, then we wouldn't have very many trotters. So if you're out there upset because Tour de Lindy made a break and it's really ruining your morning, then I suggest you should probably just put your shares up for sale, because it likely isn't the last time he'll make a break, but I suspect his next one won't be next week. So do as you will. Now, Jazzy Judy, I was happy with. Can't be upset with that mile. It's the fastest mile of that filly's life. She's in against open company. I was happy. Stonebridge Simba, little flat, little change of scenery will spark him back up. It usually does anyway. So I think you're going to see Stonebridge Simba come to Ontario for a little bit anyway. What else we got? Then we had Yes raced. I got a lot of respect for Ronnie Wren. I think he's a great driver. I think he does a great job. He's got a good head on his shoulders. A lot of facial hair. Got a beard that he doesn't need. But a great driver nonetheless. Now, last night, I really think you got to know Yes, right? You really got to know this horse. Because if you just go out there and let him do his thing, he'll fall off the gate like he did last night. And he'll put you in a spot where maybe it isn't that favorable for you or him. Not just him. He's a bit of a dogger sometimes, the big colt. I think if Ronnie has him revved up at the gate, and plus he'll put a couple of steps in halfway down the lane, and he'll let you believe that he's going to make a break, right? So I could see any driver on... Yeah, you eat that. I could see any driver on planet Earth having trouble with Yes leaving the gate. That's just the way it is. He fell off the gate a little bit. Had he been in the place, if he'd been sitting 4th instead of 5th, I think we get a decent shot. If he really revs him up leaving the gate, he probably gets away as good, or puts Billy in behind, lets the 2 go, and finishes 3rd. That's how I saw the race going anyway. But it just didn't work out that way. So Yes got away 5th. I think he was 6th, I believe. Ollie. He ended up 6th, but actually raced pretty decently. Overall, I could see what happened in the mile. It was really just a training mile. When you get away 5th, the 2 best horses in the race land 1-2. Listen, it's an uphill battle. I'm happy he didn't come first over with him. That would have been throwing him to the wolves. So I'm happy he didn't do that. But at the same token, I wish he had got away a little stronger with him. But I think that's just knowing. Yes, Globetrotting was horrid. That was really the only horse last night that raced poorly, right? Especially coming off such a good race in the start before. It's such a dominating performance. James told me, now I told you want to go out? Okay, can you get out and let her out, please? Go on in Mommy's room, just for a minute. Coming off such a dominating performance, I told you guys we made that shoeing change because her feet were sore. James said she was pacey coming out of the gate, but the hobbles just looked a little tight last night. And when you make shoeing changes, it changes the gait of the horse. And I had said this, going on the track, they look tight to me. James said she was trotting good, a little bit left line. She got a left ankle that bothers her a little bit. We'll probably have to do that. We haven't done it in maybe 5-6 weeks. Ava, come on. About 5-6 weeks. Addie, you didn't eat anything, sweetie. Can you take your cake in the barn with you? No. Please. Take that in, will you, and see if she'll eat it? If not, I'll eat it. So, just kind of a poor performance from her last night, but, you know, as I said to Jason, I said, you know, we need to get this filly racing consistently. I don't need her to be awesome all the time, but I can't have her be good and then just be the bookend horrible the next week. There has to be consistency there. So we're drawing her blood today and we're scoping her today. I mean, I have to believe that this liver is still, maybe it was 72. I'm very interested to see what this level is on her right now. What's her AST level? She's done this 2 or 3 times. She did it on Burke. She's done it on us where she tied up. Think about it. You get Christmas holidays, you get days off that you don't usually have off. This is not a filly that you want cooped up in a stall. And then to jog her on a Sunday, and then race her on a Monday. Did it play a role? I want to say no, but it's hard to believe it didn't. So we'll get to the bottom of what happened with her. But regardless of what happened with Globetrotting, she needs to get to a more consistent racing level right now. You know, somebody messaged me last night and said, well, clearly she's tired. Yeah, clearly those 16 starts in the year 2021 have just completely tuckered her out. Come on now. Let's not be silly. Math is what it is. Yeah, I noticed that nobody messaged me last week when she run off with the earplugs in, a bow in her neck in 54 come 27-4. She was tired that week. I guess those people missed those races. So, at the end of the day, if you're going to take one race in a snapshot of time and judge that horse on that race, then you're not doing that horse any justice. And that isn't what a trainer does. That's what people that jump to conclusions do. So we'll get to the bottom of what is going on and what went on with Globetrotting and get her back going. And quite frankly, tired or not, if she's going to throw inconsistent races in, then I guess we will have to give her time off. But she certainly wasn't tired last week, so I don't know why she'd be tired this week. Last night did not look like her tired. Last night looked like she couldn't function. So there's always a reason, and we will get to the bottom of it. So really, truthfully, Stonebridge Simba, as soon as he took him off the gate, just turned the TV off. That one's over. Jazzy Judy raced well. I thought that Yes was very explainable. He's in with some very good horses, got away 5th, ended up 6th. Okay. Globetrotting was really the poorest race of the night, and really, quite frankly, one of the only poor races of the night. You know, you go to Locatelli, trotted the fastest mile for us, but again, I can tell you right now, first over, I was at first over with him last week, and I know that I'm going to talk to Harry in a little while, and he's going to ask to give him a week off, and of course he should have a week off. I'm not going to say anything, but I believe he probably should have a week off. I was first over with him. He doesn't like, he'll come first over all right and grind up, and as you get to the last turn, I don't know whether he's a little trepidation because of his past breaks, or because he touches himself a little bit, or what it is, but from the point of the last turn, even at Mohawk, to midway through the last turn, he's in neutral. Right, and he was on me last week. Even the week James was second with him, around the last turn he gapped slightly. That point of the turn, first part of the turn to the point of the turn, he really throws it in a neutral, and I'm not really sure why. And it's not that concerning, to be honest. You just have to understand that that's how that horse is. That's why those 2 races for James, he raced really well when he was buried up along the rail, right? Buried along the rail, he raced awesome. I came first over. He raced good, but he was a beaten 4th. And then last night, first over again, couldn't see much in the fog, but I don't really think you needed to have vision to see what was happening. He came first over into a horse that was a pretty good horse too. He was out all the way around the last turn. Come on down the lane, best he could was 6 beat 3 lengths, trotted 53-3. Can't really get angry at the horse. Just a bad trip. And James knew that's not James's fault. As soon as I saw him land 4th, I'm like, okay, you got to come with him. He did. 7 came ahead of him and left him out. Now, if James had maybe kept going, who knows? But you don't want to be out around the first turn with him either. So, you pitched that race right out. Locatelli's still Locatelli. He lost 0 respect from me last night. 0 in finishing 6th. The horse raced great. 53-3, great race. At this point, I've just had enough, right? Jazzy Judy was all right. Stonebridge Simba was all right. I'm like, okay. I thought that Tortolindi was in tough, right? Thought he was in tough. Just, come on. For the love of God, bail me out here. I'm drowning. So, I see him come first over. I said, geez, he's trotting good. You know, full head of steam, clears the leader. He's going to win by 6 or 8. At this point, we've had such a weak day that even if he did win by 6, I'm thinking, White Tiger, please don't make a break. Just, maybe race well, get a check. That'd be great. If Tortolindi's going to win now and Tiger stays trotting, who knows? Maybe we'll salvage the night and Tortolindi makes a break. I didn't even want to watch White Tiger. If I was even tired at that point in the night, I was going to go to bed. That's how frustrated I was with the entire day as it went so far. So, yes? Oh, you just came for your drink?
Yeah. Are you going to be long?
No. Is he ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be down in a sec. So, do you need me too? What's up?
Nothing. The prairie horse's leg's a little big.
I'll come and look at him now.
He's in the wash rack.
Okay. Oh, we can't have a great day ever. Horses hitting themselves. We had one fall down yesterday. Anyway, I'm going through last night. White Tiger, or Tortolindi rolled off stride. The horse was trotting great. Was there too much hobble? Maybe. Did he run in and touch his knee? Maybe. But the horse looked good. So those of you out there looking for answers, the first answer you should know is that the horse looked fantastic for most of the mile. And like trotters do once in a while, he rolled off stride. Now, White Tiger. Man, oh man. He really, he raced huge. For a horse that has been very particular about his footwear. We took his footwear, changed it. I trained him here at the farm. He trained good. But I really don't know with White Tiger. There's always that thin line, right? That thin line between trotting and breaking, racing well, racing poor. Just White Tiger, it just seems to be a hit and miss horse, right? There's just a lot like a number of other horses we have, but that consistency is lacking, right? It's just not present. So, when it comes to White Tiger, I just couldn't be happier. Fastest mile of the night, best race he's raced in. What? Best race of his life consistently in an open field. Oh, okay. What's wrong?
She said it's too cold up tonight.
Yep. All right, come on in, baby. So, since he was a 2- and 3-year-old racing in state company, this was the toughest racing of his life. So, very happy with White Tiger. I guess I'll give Locatelli a pass. I'll even give Tortolindi a pass because he looked great. But overall, I think just a very mediocre night. Salvaged somewhat by an ultra impressive trip from White Tiger. Just really, really impressed with the way that horse raced last night. And Amy and Jason do a great job with this horse. I'm sure we're going to have people that say, why didn't we take him back to Ontario a while ago? This is all progression, right, guys? If you think that you could just bring him back in July, whoa! Do you like Paw Patrol much? It doesn't work that way. So, everything leading up to White Tiger last night needed to happen virtually in the way it did, right? Being at the Meadows, being at Plain Ridge, being everywhere, understanding racing. He's a better horse now for the life he's had, right? I've trained a lot of horses. I've been around a lot of horses. I've driven a lot of horses. And this is a horse that progressively has got better. Hey, you okay? And his best racing is right now as a 5-year-old. So, great things ahead for a lot of the horses last night. A few changes coming up. Stonebridge Simba. Hey, take a deep breath, girl. Stonebridge Simba probably going to come home. Not probably, will come home next week. I'll go over there Sunday. Got to pick up some horses to bring home and get everything moving. Now, of course, I'll mention in this video, I'll mention it again later on in the week. Most importantly, we have this January sale coming up. If everybody wants to be involved in the sale, then let me know. Kelly had sent out the forms yesterday, and it's Addie, you okay, honey? Yeah? It's as simple as this. If we don't have the backing before we go to that sale, then we won't go to the sale. I just assumed from the response I got over yesterday and even into the weeks coming up to now that a lot of people were interested in looking at a horse or two at this sale or any sale, and we will we will earmark some of them for you. So not only are we going to be going to the sale likely, not only are we going to be buying a couple of horses, but before all that, I'll send you guys out a list of 8 or 10 horses that I'll be looking at, that I'm interested in. I'm just finishing up my list. I'll have it done today, and I'll have it out to all of you. So, once again, Merry Christmas. So we'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.